Brazil is located in South America. The official language is Portuguese. The neighboring countries of Brazil are Guyana, Suriname, the French Guiana, Colombia, Venezuela, Peru, Bolivia, Paraguay, Uruguay, and Argentina. The largest country in South America is Brazil, making it the fifth largest country in the world. The capital city of Brazil is Brasilia. Did you know? Brazil has the second highest Christian population in the world. Brazil is the only team to have won the World Cup 5 times. Brazil has the longest beach in the world at a size of 150 miles long. What makes Brazil special? The roaring waterfalls. The famous landmarks. The green Amazon rainforest. The blissful and warm beaches. The amazing festivals. Talented sportsmen and women. The differences between Sao Paulo and the Amazon rainforest. The natural landscape in Sao Paulo is very calm, beautiful, and peaceful. But it's just a shadow compared to the Amazon rainforest. When it comes to man-made features, Sao Paulo is dominating. The Amazon rainforest has a small amount of buildings. Weather and climate. This is a graph to show the annual temperature of Sao Paulo. The highest temperature is 22.4 degrees Celsius and the lowest temperature is 15.8. The annual average of Sao Paulo is 18.5 degrees Celsius. The rainfall in Sao Paulo is not very high, with a max of 280 millimeters of rain and a minimum of 70. This graph shows the annual rainfall in the Amazon rainforest. The highest amount of rainfall was in March, at 320 millimeters of rain, and the lowest was in October, with only 6 millimeters of rainfall. This graph shows the annual temperature of the Amazon rainforest. The highest temperature is in March, at 32 degrees Celsius. The lowest temperature is in November, at only 1 degree Celsius. Scene 2. Differences in Brazil. Natural vegetation. Natural vegetation in Sao Paulo mainly consists of coffee. Initially, the majority of land was under forest cover, but plants and trees were cut off for inhabitation and industrialization. The soil is not very fertile too. The Amazon rainforest is well known for natural vegetation. Its vegetation continuously recycles carbon dioxide into oxygen. It has been described as the lungs of our planet. The Amazon rainforest is known to house at least 40,000 plant species and mostly have medical value. 2/3 of the world's plant species can be found in the Amazon rainforest. How is the land used? The majority of land used in Sao Paulo is for large-scale buildings and houses. The land in the Amazon rainforest is mostly covered by trees, plants, and the Amazon River. Differences in jobs. There is a high demand for teachers in Sao Paulo, making it a common job. There is a large opportunity for people in Sao Paulo to take part in the sector of art, design, and media. There are a lot of sports coaches in Brazil, and there is a high demand for them. In the Amazon rainforest, farming is a common job as a lot of people need it to survive. Tree clearing is a normal job as Amazonians use the wood for equipment. Fishing is a daily part of Amazonians' lives as they use the fish for protein. How Brazilians live. Sao Paulo is a very rich country with about 30,000 millionaires. But at the same time, there are a lot of poor people living in favelas. Education in Sao Paulo is good, but can get crowded sometimes. That's why rich people send their kids to private schools. Sao Paulo's favorite form of transport is cars, and they have 6 million of them. They suffer from chronic congestions on its main routes. Sao Paulo has an immense bus system with a fleet of over 16,000 buses. There are also several train systems like the CPTM and the Sao Paulo Metro. The quality of life in Sao Paulo is not bad, but for some people, life can get hard. People in the Amazon rainforest are not very rich. Their main aim in life is to get food. Amazonians' houses are mainly built of bamboo, straw, and sticks. There is no floor on the houses, just dry mud. Education in the Amazon rainforest is very poor, as a lot of the children there do not leave their home or go to what they consider the outside world. The main form of transport in the Amazon rainforest is boat, usually without an engine, as the rainforest is too thick for any land vehicle to pass through. The overall quality of life in Brazil is good, but can get hard sometimes due to the high amount of work needed to do for food and equipment. Scene 3. Problems facing Brazil and how they can be solved. Deforestation in the Amazon rainforest. Deforestation in the Amazon rainforest is a big issue. Its effects may cause permanent damage to our environment. The main cause for deforestation in the Amazon rainforest is cattle ranching. Cattle ranching is when livestock such as cows are raised over a certain area. When they're ready, they get slaughtered, and most of the meat is sold to the USA. The Amazon rainforest is disappearing at an alarming rate. It once covered 14% of the Earth's surface, but now only 6%. Deforestation certainly has its effects on the Amazon rainforest. Some of the damages caused are things like soil erosion, water and air pollution, the release of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, and an increased threat of global warming. We can preserve the rainforest by saving energy, keeping our homes and cars as carbon neutral as possible, and buying sustainable and environmentally friendly products. The fast growth of cities in Brazil. Brazilia's population is rising very quickly. It has a 3% rise in population every year. Increase in populations leads to more money spent on welfare and Medicare. This leads to a tremendous use of resources. All countries have techniques to keep population rise down. The gap between the rich and the poor. Although Brazil is developing very fast as a country, a lot of people think the gap between the rich and the poor is widening. As you can see, there is a lot of poverty in northern Brazil. One way we can reduce the gap between the rich and the poor is reducing taxes for poor people. Scene 4. How does Brazil compare with other countries? I will be comparing two countries to Brazil. One of them is Kenya, and the other is the United Kingdom. The first graph shows the birth rate per 1,000 people. The highest birth rate belongs to Kenya at 28.8. The lowest birth rate is in the United Kingdom at only 11. This graph shows the GNP of all three countries. The highest GNP belongs to the UK with a huge $25,500. Lowest is in Kenya with $1,100. Brazil has a decent $7,600 GNP. This graph shows the unemployment rate of the three countries. The highest unemployment rate is in Kenya, with 40% of the population unemployed. The lowest unemployment rate is in the UK, with 5%, but Brazil is not far behind, with 6% unemployed. This graph shows the number of TV sets per 1,000 people. The highest is in the United Kingdom, with 521 TV sets. Kenya has a low 85 TV sets per 1,000 people. Brazil has a decent 223 TV sets per 1,000 people. Thank you for watching. The end.
That's all, folks.